Well, let's bring in our first guest, known as America's mayor. I will say he is my mayor because I was a New York City resident for many, many years under that mayor right there, New York City mayor, former Associate Attorney General of the United States. Always happy to have Mr. Rudy Giuliani back on the show. Mr. Mayor, you look terrific, by the way. You just
always
look,
good
you
to
look
be
terrific.
with you, Eric. Always.
And by the way, congratulations on a recent Trump pardon. Really, really cool.
Oh,
congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I told the president how much I appreciated it for me and for about 70 other people, 50 of whom you or I wouldn't know, who were just picked out of nowhere and tortured because they did their constitutional duty of being alternate electors, which has happened 3 prior times in our history, including under Kennedy and Nixon, and no one, of course, ever mentioned. They treated those people like they were criminals. They were just doing what had been done before in American history. And it was a very valuable service. And they're all pardoned now, thank God. But the Democrats tortured them. I had to help get lawyers for them. It was very hard.
Yeah. And so the pardon happens. You're free and clear. But wow, they took so much from you, Mr. Mayor.
We're working to get it back.
Yeah, go ahead. How do you do that? Let's talk.
We're going to sue.
Good.
I mean, the recent report that was done by Ed Martin with the pardons was almost as important as the pardons because it laid out at least 7 or 8 crimes they committed. I mean, those cases didn't come about from thin air. They were conspired for, and they conspired about, with the direction of the White House. You got plenty of evidence of Fannie the Ho's lover going down to the White House 2-3 times for no reason other than the plan. That completely phony case, which still hasn't been dismissed. It's on its last legs. I don't know what's stopping the governor.
So can we talk about that for 1 second, Mr. Mayor?
He's supposed to be a Republican.
Isn't it? I just read that thing is still pending. Like they're going to replace Fannie Willis and with another prosecutor. And what he or she is going to pick up where Fannie failed and left off?
Everyone doubts that the prosecutor will do it, but the prosecutor could do it. Now, the indictment is just a mere little figment of his former self. It's been largely dismissed on unconstitutional grounds. I don't even know what's left of it. Like all those counts about alternate electors, well, they've been thrown out all over the country. And the people who actually put up those counts should really be penalized. They're the ones who should be disbarred, not me. Mm-hmm. They're the ones who brought absolutely illegal charges against innocent people, which is probably the worst thing a prosecutor can do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But we're slowly but surely, number one, we're coming out of it. And number two, as the president has said, and I say, we've been proven right on everything. You tell me what we've been proven wrong on.
Yeah. Well, he was wrong.
I count about 15 things.
We're not tired of. Trump was wrong about one thing. He said, we're going to win so much, you're going to get tired of winning. I'm not tired of winning yet. There's a lot more wins under our belts. Mr. Mayor, well, let's move on to something I opened this segment saying that you were my mayor. I lived in New York for 35 years. It's a hellhole. It's turned. It's changed.
You are right.
since you left. Mamdani, a socialist, is now actor, whatever, incumbent mayor. Is New York beyond help, sir?
I don't think we know first of all, the answer is possibly. I don't think anyone of us knows the answer of what's going to happen. He's making it clear he is not doing one of these go to the middle now that he won. He said nothing of unity to his opponents. Just he began like an animal when he won. He had tried to be a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. He's a communist. He's a very, very entitled rich boy from a father, and he inherited it from his father, who seems to have pathological hatred of the Jewish people. That's all they talk about. And so this is a very, very sad guy. And the worst part of it isn't even his communism. It's his support for Islamic extremist terrorism.
So that,
remember,
Mr. Mayor,
that's the city that was attacked by Islamic extremist terrorism.
We were there. We were there, Mr. Mayor. I remember pushing, fighting against. Remember the Ground Zero Mosque? Remember when they were so brazen after killing almost 3,000 New Yorkers, American citizens, innocents. They wanted to use, remember, one of the engines fell off one of the airplanes that went into the World Trade Center, landed on a building. The mosque, a Muslim group bought the building and wanted to make that a ground zero mosque, basically making a trophy of what they did.
Yeah, we all fought that very, 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 very hard, and it was beaten down. And there's also a cowardice in being honest about history and being honest about religion. If Catholics or Jews or Protestants or, I don't know, pick another religion, wanted to put something there, fine. But this is the religion under which all those people were killed. We're not, you can fool jerks. You're not going to fool me. They were all yelling Allah Akbar in the plane when they were killing us. They were sent here by bin Laden. I had expected them to come, except not to do exactly that. They had attacked us in 93. We had thwarted at least 3 attacks in the interim between then and now. When those buildings were hit, there were people that were in confusion about who did it. Bernie Kerik and I knew exactly it was bin Laden. We knew exactly it was part of the war that he declared on us that Clinton failed to listen to. He probably was doing something else. It was part of the same reason they hit the USS Cole and killed our soldiers, and Clinton was, again, doing something else and didn't respond to it. And I had a great deal of anger toward Clinton for the same kind of Chamberlain appeasement that led bin Laden to the idea that he could come to New York and blow up one of our buildings. Well, Bush, dissuaded him of that right away, which is why the people who criticized the war after, you got to be a little careful. We needed that. We needed that to punch him in the face and tell him, stop it, go fight your battles for Muhammad somewhere else. So these people killed under the name of Muhammad. Mm-hmm. That's not all Muslims, but it's those Muslims. And now you're going to put up a church to Muhammad right there?
And they targeted New York.
What are you, out of your mind? You think I'm a jerk? I know your religion. I know your religion. I studied it. I studied to be a priest. I studied all religion. I studied yours. And we used to put yours in a different category. You're the only religion that preaches killing.
I don't know if you can even qualify that as religion. It's a cult. It's not even a religion, Mr. Mayor. If it preaches, if you don't believe in us, you don't deserve to live.
It's in the Quran. Unfortunately, it's in the Quran. And some read it out, some read it in. So the ones who read it out, fine, God bless you. But the ones who read it in, we have to be aware of the fact that they're big, they're important, and they like to kill us. And then we're going to put a monument up to them? Who do we know which side they're on?
How about this, Mr. Mayor? We watched, after Mamdani was elected, the weekend after, on a Sunday, I believe, Saturday or Sunday, Times Square became a makeshift mosque. It became a pop-up mosque. Muslims they blanketed Times Square. They're on their knees praying. My concern here is not freedom of religion. I get it. Okay. My concern is in Dearborn, Michigan, police now have to wear some sort of hat tip to Muslims, a patch on their uniforms. In Minneapolis, Minnesota, now there are calls to pray. The prayer calls, bells ringing 4 or 5 times a day. Muslims get down and they pray. Is New York the next city to look like a mosque, a Muslim-run country?
Well, when you consider that the mayor-elect's single biggest influential imam is one who was an unindicted co-conspirator in the 1993 Islamic slaughter in New York, praised September 11, refused to condemn, if not praise, September 7th. The reality is that there are 2 types of Muslims, make it simple. Peaceful Muslims, of which there are many, God bless them, terrific. I wish they'd speak up more, but they don't cause trouble. Number 2, there are the Muslims who believe in the exact word of the Quran, which still exists in writing, which is that they should kill Christians, Jews, and take over the world. That's how they spread their religion. It's a religion spread by warfare, not by preaching like St. Paul.
Let me do this.
They don't have a St. Paul.
I don't have unlimited time. I wish I did. I wish I could hold you over. But, Mr. Mayor, two quick questions. If you've advised presidents, not only Trump, but presidents, world leaders. You've advised world leaders.
Yes, sir.
What is the one piece of advice you would give to Trump when you see what's going on with the uprising and becoming the Muslim people are being elected and changing the culture, the fabric of this country slowly but surely? They call it Sharia creep. Some people do. What is the message that you would give President Trump how to handle this sort of thing?
Well, President Trump is in a unique position. He has a very good relationship with, let us call it, the peaceful Muslim world. even religiously, the group that interprets the religion differently, they have to take over. They never have. They've never taken over and modernized their religion. They don't practice it, but they leave it there. And they leave it there on the books, and they leave it there being practiced by millions of people. Now, you've got to stop that. Mm-hmm. And they're the only ones who can stop it by standing with us. They've got to speak out against it. They have to point out how inhumane it is, how indecent it is, and how, if you want to justify it in any way, you justify it as, what used to go on 1,400 years ago, not now. The way some things in the Bible, nothing terrible like that, but some things in the Bible are written out. Nobody stones people anymore. They did in the Old Testament, right? Nobody even thinks about it. So well, write it out.
They don't do it here, but they still do it. They still do it in Tehran, and they still throw gays and lesbians off roofs, and they hang them from, the construction trucks that have the high, and they put a rope on it, and they'll hang people who are caught being homosexuals there. I mean, it's a crazy fanatical religion.
We can talk about this more. I have a real recommendation how to do it, which, believe it or not, comes out of a little bit of my effort against the mafia and how the Italian people related to the mafia. It was not as bad, not as difficult, but it's a good example of how people tend to justify sometimes the things that their people, let's call it that, do wrong, even though they would never do it. Mm-hmm. Because they feel that everybody's going to be tarred that way. There is a big element of that among very good Muslims. And it can be taken away. It can be separated. And there's nobody who could do it better than Trump. Trump has excellent, look at his relationships with Mohammed bin Salman. Mohammed bin Salman, for whatever else you think, is extremely peaceful. His desire is a peaceful Middle East. Yeah. Has been since the time he was 13 years old.
Mm. All right. Mr. Mayor, Rudy Giuliani, always good to have you, my friend. Let's do this more often. When I heard we had you, I was very excited. Get you back in the studio one of these days, too. You look terrific, sir. You look great. Thank you for your time.